Murder, she wrote. Murder, she wrote. Left hook, good night. Nonito Donaire absolutely drills Stephon Young, late replacement. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Now, I was watching the World Boxing Super Series, the semifinals, and Nonito Donaire got an emphatic one-punch, left hook, good night knockout. Congrats to Nonito Donaire. He advances to the finals. The fight, I'm just going to give you my honest thoughts. Donaire was the bigger guy. Stephon Young, he's trained by Luis Ortiz's trainer. It looked like Jay Jimenez was there training Young. Young was outgunned and outmatched. They said he took the fight on 3 days' notice. In case you guys don't know what's going on, as far as this particular fight, this was the semifinals, the last leg, and they brought in Stephon Young because he was a late replacement. I'm getting ready to watch Regis Prograis as the main event against Kirill Relic. So I've watched Kirill Relic. He had a tough fight with Rancis Bartholomew, who's fighting tonight, coincidentally, in Vegas. So I'm going to catch all this. I watched F.A. Jagba, quick, easy work, knockout on PBC. But about this World Boxing Super Series, bottom line is it was a crazy knockout. You know, props, Nonito Donaire, his left hook is butter. He's had the left hook. You know, this was a vintage Donaire knockout for sure. It was like, you know, you put him in there with the Vic Darchinyan first knockout, any of those type of knockouts for Donaire. He was very humble after he knocked him out. He went and checked on him, similar to Canelo when he knocked out Amir Khan. So props, you know, Nonito Donaire's from the Bay Area like me. He even fought out here in Vallejo, which is, you know, next city over basically from me. And, you know, I followed Donaire's whole career. So vintage Donaire type of knockout, left hook. He's always had power. That was the Filipino flash. Now, the only unfortunate thing is this, based on who he was fighting, I didn't really know much about Stephon Young, and he already had a loss. Zolani Tete, that was going to be a good fight, but unfortunately Tete was injured, and he waited till the week of, or that's when it was announced, the week of the fight, that he was no longer going to be able to compete. I believe he trains in the Mayweather gym. I think that would have been a more competitive fight, a better fight, and obviously someone with the full camp as opposed to 3 days. But beyond the, I'm not making excuses, beyond the 3 days to prepare, you know, I give credit to Young for, you know, at least even attempting, you know, trying to rewrite history and stuff like that. But he was outgunned. I believe the Zolani Tete, not only do I believe, I know that it would have been a more competitive fight because of the two styles, you know. And if Donaire were to have knocked out Zolani Tete in that same way, 6-round knockout, one-punch knockout, then I'd be highly impressed. But, you know, I can't, Donaire, he's a fighter. He's taking care of his wife and his family and his kids and stuff. This is not his fault. His opponent, you know, got injured and the show must go on. Me personally, I don't know how it works with the World Boxing Super Series. I really wish they would have waited and rescheduled the Zolani Tete versus Donaire fight, because I was really looking forward to that. And when I found out it was on the Regis Prograis card, I was like, oh, dope. I almost went to this card for that. You know what I'm saying? I was going to fly to Louisiana from California and stuff like that. This one's in Fayetteville, not New Orleans. But like I said, I'm not blaming Donaire. He did what he had to do, but I really believe it would have been a more competitive fight with Zolani Tete based on the stylistic matchup. And this is the second fight through no fault of his own where Donaire advances to the next column, to the next bracket. And there's like some technicalities there. He fought Ryan Burnett. The fight was getting good. Ryan Burnett got a bad injury, couldn't continue. He wins. So Donaire won, you know, by default. I think they had to go to the scorecards or whatnot, you know. And then now there's a overmatched guy who comes in, you know, valiant. He was trying to counter, but he didn't look like he had the power at that division to warrant or deter Donaire. So Donaire was most of the fight walking him down, landing the bigger shots, and, you know, really just walking through what Young had to offer. I do believe the Zolani Tete fight would have been more competitive, and I think Tete on the odds makers had him as the favorites. But Donaire's just playing his position. I think Inoue is a beast, and I think that's going to be the finals. Inoue still has to get past his next opponent, but, it looks like it's going to be Inoue versus Donaire. If I had to take a guess, again, Inoue still has to get past his opponent, but if I know what I think I know about Inoue and his opponent, he should advance. So it looks like the final will be, two formidable Asian opponents facing each other, Filipino and then Inoue out of Japan. So it's going to be interesting. The good thing with Nonito Donaire, even though he's in there with a late replacement or whatnot, it shows that he has power still. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the fact that he knocked him out, like, this is the type of separation that you're supposed to show when you're a former champion and you've been in the ring with Rigandao and Prime, Vic Darchinyan, and you were in there with Fernando Montiel. You've been in there with Nicholas the Axeman Walters when he was undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So this is an emphatic win. Left hook was beautiful. This put me in the mindset of Curtis Stevens when he got knocked out versus David Lemieux. He just hooked him and he was out. Like, just kind of his arms it's just your body goes so limp. His arms are like crucified, kind of like when Wilder knocked out Artur Spilka and his legs crossed. He was just out. Very bad knockout, people. He just stretched. So props to Stephan Young for taking it, but Donaire, too much experience, too much size, too much power, just too good for where Stephan Young is, especially with minimal time to prepare. But I don't think even if he had a full camp, I don't think it would have changed much. Beautiful knockout. So that's a good thing for the finals, is he shows he still has power. He still has that cracks at 118. And Donaire, it's pretty impressive that he's went and done what he done in his career. Lost to Rigandao, in my opinion, in a bad way. He lost to Walters by stoppage. And in between there, he fought like Simpie Vecheka and some other guys where it didn't look like the best Donaire. Vic Darchinyan rematch didn't look like the best Donaire, even though he stopped him in the rematch too. He was losing a lot of rounds. So, I give credit to Nonito Donaire because he's rejuvenated his career. He made the decision to drop back down, and he seems better suited at 118, still showing power. He still keeps advancing. So he's kind of rejuvenated and resurrected his career at a point where in the higher weights and featherweight and stuff like that, he was looking like, he had reached the pinnacle. So props to Donaire for that. He's definitely rejuvenated and breathed new life into his career. Now, Inoue's a different beast. That's a different animal. That's not a Stephen Young. Inoue got cracks, and has a great left hook to the body. He has a jab, so that's a different fight than the late replacement. Again, I'm not taking anything away from Donaire, nothing. But that left hook, beautiful stuff from Donaire. Good to see vintage Donaire, and now he's in the finals. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Inoue advances? Donaire already advances. I'm going to watch the main events. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego, signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.